Greetings folks, Daniel Wickwire here, and welcome back to Monster Bytes, where we discuss various facts and trivia about kaiju and monsters in all forms of media. This is part 4 of our Godzilla video game retrospective. In this video, we will be concluding the Super Nintendo / Super Famicom titles. The first one here has a bit of a classification issue, mainly which console it was released on. Battle Baseball released in February 19th, 1993 on the Famicom, with some conflicting reports also saying it was released on the Super Famicom, but I could not verify that. It is the same concept as Battle Soccer, just with baseball instead. There is of course a Godzilla, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Gundam team, along with the respective villains. Not really anything else to say about it other than that. Godzilla on the PC 9800, released in October 15th, 1993, is another one of those titles with little to no information available. All there is are some screenshots of a grid map, scenes from the Mysterians, and a weird whack-a-mole-esque game mode featuring Mogera. This is another one we could desperately use a little bit more knowledge on. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, aka Kaiju-oh Godzilla, or Gojira, for the Game Boy, released in 1993. This is a simplified, side-scrolling beat-em-up, exploding at the seams with more kaiju than you can count. You meander through 5 stages in total, with multiple mini-bosses and one main villain. Godzilla dispatches his foes with punches and his trademark atomic breath, with over 20 plus enemy kaiju and all sorts of various military hardware. This is the Godzilla game we should have gotten in the US, and it sure as hell seems a lot better than that Godzilla-kun game we got. Never played this one, but I plan on rectifying that in the near future. A title that a lot from my generation are likely familiar with is Super Godzilla on the SNES and Super Famicom, released back in 1993. One of the more prolific early Godzilla titles released in the US. The top half of the screen is Godzilla, the lower half is the map, and you essentially control Godzilla's direction of travel. Once you get into a battle, it changes to a side view. As your fighting spirit increases, you gain access to different attacks, which also depend on your proximity to your opponent. This game is notable for having the first appearance of Super Godzilla and Baggin. It's certainly an unusual game that I really could never get the hang of. Our next 2 games are really great. Really great. First is Godzilla Battle Legends, released on the PC Engine CD, aka TurboGrafx CD, back in 1993. Developed by Alpha Systems and published by Hudson Soft. The game is a 2D 1v1 fighter starring all sorts of monsters from the Godzilla universe. During the campaign, you can only play as Godzilla, and depending on which kaiju you are facing, Goji's design will change to reflect the film in which that monster first appeared, which is a nice little touch. However, this will only happen in the campaign and not in versus mode. Your choice of final boss will vary depending on your score. Your special attacks are limited by a regenerating energy bar right below your health. A few notable kaiju and non-kaiju to pick from are Hedorah, the Super X2, Rodan, Mechagodzilla 2, and Showa King Ghidorah. With this being an early console CD title, you get all the joys of CD quality audio. Also, the very rare US release of this game has a few notable translation issues. The following year, Alpha Systems was back at it along with Toho to release Godzilla Kaiju Dai Kissin on the Super Famicom, which is a remake, demake, converted version, maybe, of Godzilla Battle Legends. You generally get the same kind of experience with slightly altered controls, roster, stages, campaign, and of course no CD quality music because it was released on a cartridge. With quite a few kaiju removed, they did actually add a few back that were not in the other versions, such as Mothra and Gotengo. Lastly, they added super attacks and a more traditional story mode where you can select from more than just Godzilla. Also, his appearance does not change anymore depending on what enemy you're fighting in that story mode. Regardless, it is very fun, albeit a little sluggish at times. We did a live stream of the game not long ago, and I'll put the link below if you haven't got a chance to check that out. For those of you that have, which of the 2 prior fighting games do you prefer? Battle Legends or Kaiju Dai Kissin? Leave your comments below and maybe a suggestion of what you'd like to see in the next episode. Don't forget to check out the KMR Facebook page, Twitter account, as well as my Twitter account for updates regarding this channel. I'll put all the important links in the description below. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be back in 2 weeks with a new episode. Take care.